Bring me the next shiny new thing. Bring me the next.
The Pickleball CHIX are obsessed with America's fastest growing sport, pickleball. Get ready for on and off the court hot topics. Lots of laughs, cocktails and champagne with your hosts, Annie and Rebecca.
Hey.
Hey, I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Annie.
And we're the Pickleball CHIX. Oh my gosh, we have had a fun-filled week, and everybody's been asking about what's been going down.
They sure have, Rebecca. And thank you, everyone, for joining us because we have a lot of fun things to share with you.
Yes, and everybody's been saying, how was Vegas?
Woo!
We were at the bubly PPA tournament with the pros. Hashtag play where the pros play.
I love it.
You can look that up on Instagram and see all the action that happened at our tournament.
Oh, my goodness. So much fun.
Oh,
Before we get into our favorite moments and some really cool information, should we get started with?
we should.
Word
The
of the
drink
day?
of the...
Oh! Oh, shoot.
Should we start with the drink of the day? Well, why not? So, because Christmas is right around the corner, we've got something cooked up really great. Annie came up with it. She is our bartender this week since we're so close to the holidays. Whoa!
And let's just say I also bartended in Vegas.
Yes.
So
yes.
this is a good one.
This is Deck the Halls with
Pickleballs.
Woo!
Shall we?
Okay,
Woo!
so if everybody wants to make one, Annie, why don't you let us know what's in this delight? You can see it.
Oh my goodness. First of all, you line the glass with gelatin. You put a little red food coloring and a little peppermint. Boop, and you put it right on the side. Then you use cacao with peppermint.
Did you say cacao?
Cacao. And then you use a little condensed milk with the cacao peppermint. Make a nice little thick little fudgy sauce. Put a little Bailey's, a little whipped cream.
Ooh.
And boom.
Oh my gosh, that sounds good.
And boom, shall we?
We shall. And woo!
Oh, deck the halls with pickleballs.
Balls. Cheers. Here we go, everybody.
And this is a drink, not a shot.
Which we rarely have a drink. It's usually a shot.
Mm.
Now that.
Do you taste the peppermint?
I'm going to mix mine. I'm going to mix it.
Mine is delish. I'm in love. I'll be drinking this every time we say the word of the day.
And you know what the word of the day is?
What?
Pros.
Why? Because we played where the pros play and met a lot of pros.
Oh my gosh. What was really cool about our bubbly tournament that we went to over the weekend is that it was really one of the first tournaments that they've ever had that they've had the pros playing in the same place as the amateurs. And so we were in the amateur play, and then the pros were just kind of walking around, and then they were playing in their own little spot with the seating and stadium seating, etc. But we got to meet some of them, and we're going to go a little bit more into it.
Yes.
But really, there are some that stand out that are all around great people, great players, and they get what's going down.
So true. I think anyone who plays pickleball knows that the people who are playing, one of the things we're attracted to are all the cool people playing, the vibe, the feeling, it's refreshing. You're playing a sport that you love. You are reaping the benefits of exercise. Last night, Rebecca and I played our ladder league Mega.
Yeah.
8 games. 8 games. A lot of exercise and a lot of fun.
Oh my God. We've been saying pros left and right.
Oh,
and we have not been drinking.
Oh, darn it.
And you know, for the drink of the day, you have to take a sip. So make sure, if you don't have a drink yet, get one of your own that you love, or make one of ours. And every time we say pros, feel free to drink. It's just kind of a fun little afternoon. Listen to the podcast, watch the podcast, have a little drink. Nice. There's some seeds or something in there. What is that?
That is the cacao. It's actually an elixir for health benefits for pickleball pros like us. Oh, wait a minute. We're not a pro.
Drink. So Annie.
Yes.
Annie has all this info, and I think everybody wants to know about how we experienced the tournament, and then we're going to talk about the MLP draft, which we were there for that too, which was so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
So are we going to talk about kind of what we experienced with the whole layout? We didn't realize, but it was actually indoors at Mandalay Bay in Las Vegas. Now, in my mind, I was thinking we would be outdoors. It would be really windy and crazy. But in theory, it was indoors, the best courts. There were at least 22, 24 courts, maybe even more. Everything was really great. So the lighting was perfect. The temp was perfect. You had plenty of space around your court. You know, sometimes when you have your courts are kind of pushed together and you don't have a lot of room to run if you need to go off the court, there's plenty of space. I mean, it was really, they had 2 refs per court, which was also nice.
Mm-hmm. And also a learning experience. And I think we should share some of the things that we learned.
Yes.
I mean, are you tournament ready? Because, wow.
There's a lot. And we could go on a whole podcast just on being tournament ready, which we should do.
Which we really should do.
Yeah.
Yes. And, you know, having said that, the experience for us was A+.
It was. And the only thing that I think I would change from all the other events that we have hosted and been to is it's double elimination. And so a lot of tournaments are double elimination. But the ones we usually host will be more of a round robin where you're playing plenty of pickleball when you're there.
Yeah.
And so that's something to think about too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And for us, I think the experience was phenomenal, largely because I was playing with the best partner you could ever ask for. Rebecca, you're a great partner.
So was I.
You know, I just have to share this. When Salt and Peppa came on,
the music was playing. It was really good. The whole tournament was really fun. It was more of a laid back tournament feel. The music was cranking. We were dancing and playing, and that was the first time I had been out on the court playing since my surgery, which was a month ago, but I haven't really played for a couple months, maybe even 3 months. So to get out there was so enjoyable. And you and I just jived as partners. And we, it was really, really great. And it was nice to not have to keep track of the score.
It was. And it was very interesting. The whole experience was interesting.
And big highlight, we met the other pickleball chick. So we were just watching some pros play, and here was this gal, and I'm like, she looks really familiar. Wait a sec. She's the pickleball chick. CHICK. And she is part owner of the Las Vegas Night Owls. Mm-hmm. So we sat and chatted, and we just loved her so much, didn't we?
Oh, she is so great.
And her energy. Yes. Her energy is our energy. So we have some video. Watch what she had to say.
Absolutely.
Pickleball Chicks with the original Pickleball CHIX. Such an exciting moment to meet you.
Oh, I am so excited. You have an awesome brand. I love it that we kind of share the name. And you guys are just so sweet and nice, and it's really awesome to meet you.
I feel like
thank you.
Together.
We are, because we are Pickleball CHIX.
We are Pickleball CHIX. I love it. And a very big congratulations to you. What an exciting time.
Thank you.
Tell us about the draft.
Yeah, so I was super nervous. Like, I have never been that nervous for something in my entire life, besides when I was getting my series test for finance. Like, I was studying for the Series 7 and 63. I woke up like I was sweating. I was like, just not okay. And that's how I kind of felt for this first time. I feel like I know the players almost just as well as most of the others, owners and GMs. I put in just as much time, if not more, So I feel like I prepared, but I was still super nervous. I was alone. Like I felt like physically alone. Like I was just like, I was supposed to be back home, and I stayed in Austin after minor league pickleball. So I was just like not in my house. It was just like, it was fine, but it was the first time I had to call players, and then like once you draft someone, you get someone on the phone, so then you have to like keep calling the players you're drafting while you're doing it. So it was a very stressful process, but I could not be more happy for my team. I love my team. I'm so pumped for everyone. Deckel, Viv, Lauren, and Kyle. Love all of them. So.
Yes, we love them all as well. So fun. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we wish your team a lot.
Thank you. You guys are going to have to come.
Oh, wait,
you are coming to Major League Pickleball.
Yes.
She was great. And her actual best friend is one of the other owners from the Night Owls, which is somebody she met on the courts, the pickleball courts. That's how they became friends.
Which is the magic of pickleball, and it's Kim Kleisters, and she,
the tennis pro.
Yes. And we were able to speak with her as well. Let's listen right now. You're going to love it.
She was so sweet.
Hey, it's Andy with the Pickleball CHIX. We're here with Kim Kleisters, owner of MLP.
Yeah, hi, how are you?
So nice to see you. The draft was so fun.
It was really fun. It's the second event that I've been to where I've been able to watch some pickleball up close and to see the draft and to meet some of the fellow owners. And we've been playing some pickleball together these last couple of days here. So it's nice to meet up with everybody and to get to know them and to really bring pickleball and the passion that we all have for the sport to a new level.
Oh, we are so excited.
Yeah, me too.
And tell us about your team.
We're super excited. So Vivian, David was our first draft. I'm super excited. Me too. I was really excited to be a part of it. So KAITLYN KERR is one of the owners of our group. She did all the background of pickleball. I'm still kind of learning a lot and meeting a lot of the players and trying to see like what their game is like. So I was not at all. I had no advice on who do I think should be playing with who. Like I'm not at that stage yet where I can give advice. So I just listened but I'm very excited about the draft. I think we've had some player meetings already. Had a nice talk with Vivian yesterday. Ended up hearing that she was a big fan of me when she was playing tennis back in the day. So that's nice. That comes back around. Now I can cheer for her where in the past she was cheering for me. So that makes it, it's a nice.
So, and then one of the other owners who we had wondered why he wasn't there, the football player, he was actually playing football.
Tom Brady. Everybody loves him.
So he did mention that he couldn't make the draft because he was playing football. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. And during the draft, speaking of the Las Vegas Night Owls, Vivian was so tickled that she was drafted by Kim.
And the draft, that was so much fun to watch. So they had it set up where everything was just really easy and close up and personal. So the first person, their #1 draft is
Annalie Waters.
Yes.
Why don't we watch this? You'll enjoy this.
Annalie Waters, the teenage phenom, here with me now. Annalie, what were your emotions when you got that phone call naming you as the #1 pick of this draft?
Yeah, I was so excited. Honestly, I was here in Vegas. It was super loud. I got the phone call and I was like, wait, what did you say? Like, are you sure? I was super excited. I'm super excited to be a part of the fives as well. And it's just an amazing feeling to be picked #1 overall, both man and woman.
Well, I want to talk about the format that MLP brings to the table. It's so cool. They've got that singles dream breaker. They've got the rally scoring. How does that change the outcome of these matches?
Yeah, it definitely does. Hopefully I don't get in a dream breaker, but if I do, I'm super excited. I know the energy is going to be amazing, and I love playing singles, so I'm just super pumped to see what this season has to bring.
Congratulations, Annalie Waters.
So it was really fun to see what the pros had on. And Annalie Waters is 16 now, and she showed up with her glittery, sparkly dress that was kind of sheer over her leggings. It was really cute. And you know what? It's such fun to see how these young girls and boys, I mean, they're really actually just kids, handle themselves in such a spotlight event. And she did handle herself really well.
She did. She did. And the entire selection of the top 12 was really a lot of fun to watch.
It was. And it was also nice to chat with some of the owners. They just had a whole row of owners sitting in the front. And so Steve Kuhn, who is the founder of the MLP, I actually graduated high school with him at Columbia Heights High School in Minnesota, which is super funny because it was a small class. So my girlfriend had called and said, oh my God, do you know that Steve Kuhn is this big guy in pickleball? So we giggled about it. So I went over just for a couple of minutes and chatted with him. And I hadn't seen him since all of this had gone on. So that was really fun. And then we talked to some of the other owners.
Yes.
So now you wanted to talk a little bit about the teams and then who they were drafted, because this is so fascinating. And our favorite.
Oh, gosh. Yes. So first of all, there's 2 leagues, if you will, the Premier and the Challenger League of MLP. And you
never hear about the Challenger League.
We're going to talk about it because I think it's important. But in that Premier League, the first 12 people drafted. We've spoke about number 1.
Annalie Waters.
Now let's talk about number 12. Zane.
We love him. Now he is trained by Leslie Roberts, who we had on our last podcast. And we chatted with him. And we were talking about the Pickleball CHIX and Leslie. And then I said to Annie, let's take a picture for Leslie.
We didn't have our camera.
Nobody has a phone. Nobody. Which is unlike us because we always have our phones. And you want to know what? Then we go back to our bags. We both have our phones. They're in our bags, which is, it was just so ridiculous.
It was so ridiculous. And you know, really what's important to know about Zane is he's a very nice young man.
Kind.
Yes. And he was originally studying to be an accountant.
Ooh.
And then pickleball
took over his life.
As it does for so many of us. I
As
don't
it
care
does.
for pros. Oopsie.
Ooh.
Pros. Take a sip. I know I did. Pros are amateurs. The bottom line is that pickleball is for everyone.
Everyone.
And Zane really encompasses that and really shares that. And he's a really phenomenal player to watch.
He is. And what a nice kid. How old is he?
Gosh.
Do we know how old he is?
I think he is, 28 maybe?
Because he could date my daughter, Sophia.
And he is the number 1 draft pick on the Frisco Clean Cleanse team. So let's talk about these 12 teams, Rebecca, shall we?
Yes, we should.
Okay, number 1, we have Annalie Waters. Her team is New Jersey Fives, which oftentimes goes by the Fives. Seattle Pioneers, number 1 pick is Ben Johns. ATX,
number one guy player.
Yes, ATX Pickleballers is JW Johnson, whereas the New York Hustlers are favorite dude, Tyson McGuffin, is playing. However, Anna Bright was the first draft pick.
Even though Tyson McGuffin, he's so spectacular. And if you're looking to follow a pro, he's my number 1 pick. And you want to know why? I like his style. I like his character. And I like how kind he is to everybody. And who doesn't love somebody who's a great family man? He's hardworking. He is so cool on the court. He's just a fun guy all around.
He is. They call him the most electrifying man in pickleball. And let's see why. Let's go ahead and look at our interview with Tyson right now.
Yes.
Oh, we have a great question for you.
Talk to me.
We love your game. Have you always been wild, edgy?
As a younger kid, have your characters had always been the same?
You know what? No, I think over the last couple of years, I probably have gained a bit more confidence than I used to have. And I've been kind of owning my character and riding it out. And with that, I think I've gained a lot of fans. It's very authentic. I'm getting brand endorsements, and so I'm trying to be the most confident guy out here. And I think, if you don't have confidence, then you're not living.
You're not living.
You are not living.
That's
our
exactly
favorite
right.
thing, and that's why we love you so much as a player.
Yes.
Because we're kind of who we are.
Yeah, of course.
And so we're watching you I love it.
Yeah. I think it's a fine line of like being confident, but also like, you know, I feel like I'm a nice guy. I'm a family man. I also own a couple businesses, and so I try to do everything as well as I can.
Oh, we love that. Okay, interested. What are your businesses? Maybe ask.
Yeah, of course. If you guys want to come get McGuffin, you can go to TysonMcGuffin.com. I teach the best camps out there. Also, I have an assistant, or I have a lead. His name's Kyle McKenzie. You can come get KMACT, but go to TysonMcGuffin.com. We teach camps nationwide. We're partnered up with PPA, and so if you guys want to come play a PPA tournament, you play Thursday through Sunday, and then come get McGuffin or come take a camp on that Monday, Tuesday. We're also partnered with Chicken and Pickle, so if you guys want to check out one of those cool Chicken and Pickle locations, eat some good food, and hang out with me, would love to have you. I also have a very established YouTube channel. It's called Tyson McGuffin Pickleball. I have a podcast called The McGuffin Show. Subscribe today, and I also do educational videos. So I'm a grinding, hustling man. But I have a great team around me. I have my princess right here, who's my biggest support system. Oh, hello! Oh, yeah. She's the real angel. Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's move on.
Let's move on.
The Los Angeles Mad Drops. Ooh, I really love Catherine Parento, and actually,
yeah.
Bob, our first podcast guest, really likes Catherine
Loves
as well.
her. Yes.
Yes. And so she's really cool. We watched a lot of her play. She's really neat.
Yeah.
So make sure that you check her out.
Yes. Who's next?
Well, Hard Eights.
Oh, Hard Eights. We did talk to a lot of the group that had with the owners.
Mm-hmm.
They were fun.
Yes. And Riley Newman is the #1 draft pick for the Hard Eights.
Yeah.
Now, Cabos Vamos.
Woo! Oh, yes, those guys were fun.
Yes, we really spoke to those owners and a few of the other people in their group.
Yeah.
They're really cool. And Jay is the #1 pick.
Nice.
He is from France.
Wait, what is Jay's last name? It's always a hard one to say.
I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Do you?
Well, all I know is he's so handsome. Let's figure out how to say his last name appropriately for him. He is a French man, and he's the new heartthrob on the Pro Tour.
Oh my gosh, he does have a YouTube video that you can actually watch to figure out how to pronounce his name right. He's so funny. Check it out. We've got all the links in our show notes.
And the next team is Florida Smash with the #1 draft choice, Jessie Irvine, one of Rebecca's favorite pro players.
Okay, the next team is the Las Vegas Night Owls.
Oh, one of our favorites.
Yes, we've spoken about KAITLYN, Pickleball CHIX, Kim Kleisters.
Yes.
And again, Vivian David had such a beautiful tribute to Kim.
Yeah.
And moving on.
Yes.
California
Oh.
BLQK Bears.
Woo.
And the #1 draft pick is Andrea Koo.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Moving on to Milwaukee Mashers. Callie Jo Smith. I like her play, and I like her as a human being. We've already spoken about #12, Frisco Clean Cause. Zane.
That's right, Zane Navritil, the only player in the top 12 who has multiple MLP wins under his belt. How much confidence does that give you moving into 2023?
Just going to try and enjoy it again, and it's...
All right, let's talk about duper ratings.
Boring.
Yep. Some of these people have some really high duper ratings.
Does anybody ever wonder about someone's duper rating?
Frisco Clean Cause duper
Zane.
rating, 24.75. How about Cabo Vamoose, 24.38. You don't care.
Shoot. How darn I wish I cared.
Las Vegas 24.53. Okay, hey, Rebecca doesn't care. Maybe you don't care either. So why don't we talk about team challengers? So the team challengers, we have 12 other teams. And here's what's interesting about these teams.
You guys might never have even heard that there were challengers.
I know. Has anyone even heard about this? So some owners that you might know would be Anheuser-Busch, Eva Longoria,
yes,
and Heidi Klum.
Ooh.
Now we've got your attention.
Now I'm interested.
Okay, so why don't we talk about the first team? Atlanta Bouncers.
Bounce
City Bounce Bounce. These people are owned by Anheuser-Busch.
And so didn't you say, Annie, that explain how the this, and actually it's just the 4th season of the pros. And so we were talking kind of how they're going to handle it. And there's been so many changes, but that's with anything that is somewhat new.
Yes.
And so you explain it to our listeners because it's actually very fascinating.
Exactly how that's going to work, we don't necessarily know. But what we do know is that there's 24 teams. And the 12 teams that were announced in the draft on Friday in Vegas are the premier teams. The other teams, the challenger teams, are owned by these other groups that we're talking about right now, but we haven't really heard much about them.
We haven't. And you know what's fascinating is, you know, if you thought like in 2018, the #1 male player is now rated, I think it's like number 50. So things change really quickly.
Yes.
And so we've seen over the last couple of years how fast things have changed, moved, and so we're really good just going with the flow. Now, we at our tournament started watching this young gentleman. His name is Chris, and he was so fun to watch. And so we started chatting a little bit with him and his coach. And let's just show you a video of our interview with him. It's real cute.
It's great. This. And he medaled gold.
Hey, it's Annie with the Pickleball CHIX. Guess who I'm here with? I'm with Chris Hayworth. Chris is playing in the MLP as a pro. We just watched your game, and it was phenomenal, Chris. Congratulations on your win.
Thank you. It was a close one.
It was a good one.
Yeah.
Well, we love it. And yesterday, congratulations.
Thank you.
So how long have you been playing?
I've been playing for about 6 weeks.
6 weeks?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, seriously, for 6 weeks. So I had played before. I mean, like maybe once every couple months, and then 6 weeks ago I decided to take it a little more serious. So here we are.
Well, congratulations. And what a great tournament. What do you think about the tournament?
Well, it's my first one, so I don't really have much to compare it to, but if they're all like this, then I'm thrilled.
You're thrilled?
Yeah,
you know
what
I want to say is you look great in pink.
Thank you.
You do look great in pink. I love it. Okay, so tell us just one more quickie question. If you could play pickleball against anyone, who would it be?
Serena Williams.
Serena Williams.
Yep. #1 fan.
I think I know why, Chris, because you are a tennis player originally.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, I love
what
it.
if you could play any pickleball player as your partner? Who would it be?
Oh, gosh. This one right here, Kelly Roots.
Oh, Kelly! Oh,
yeah, exactly.
That's so great. Well, thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us,
Thank you
and
guys.
good luck on your next match.
Thank you.
We'll be watching and cheering you on, Chris.
Rebecca, let's get back to the challenger teams. We haven't spoken about the 12 teams.
Yes.
#1, we are talking about the Atlanta Bouncers owned by Anheuser-Busch. #2, AZ Drive. We will recognize one of the owners. There's a few, but Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh, yes.
One of our personal faves. Bay Area Breakers. It's another team. Chicago Slice. This is one that Heidi Klum is part of the ownership group.
That's exciting.
I love Heidi Klum.
I do too. I see her on with the Kardashian doing a photo shoot with the older gals in the Victoria's Secret outfits, and they're older.
I didn't. I missed it.
It was on the Kardashian show.
I missed it.
Yeah.
So the Dallas Pickleball Club, and then we move on to the DC Pickleball team. Why is this important? Because at the Bubbly, where the tennis pros challenged the pickleball pros, Team Query won. And guess who is on this team? Sam Query. So that's one to watch. And this is the team that Eva Longoria owns.
And what is that one called? The DC?
DC Pickleball team.
So that's one to follow.
Miami Pickleball Club, Texas Rangers, Utah Black Diamonds, and the Valhalla Volleys. Now, maybe this isn't all that interesting to you, but who knew there was another group of 12?
No one.
Okay, well, now you know. And that's what we're trying to do, is educate and encourage. And the MLP, and have fun. The MLP is something that is really on the rise. Becca.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the big announcement on December 15th.
What was it?
MLP is collaborating with Margaritaville. And the whole idea behind this collaboration is to bring out the fun and the lifestyle brand of Margaritaville.
Yes.
With pickleball. We can all get behind that.
Yes.
Who doesn't love Jimmy Buffett?
I love Jimmy Buffett. And you know what? This is just a great thing to have happen. So they're really all coming together. PPA, MLP, Margaritaville. Fun, 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 fun with friends.
With friends. And stay tuned because we have a lot more fun coming up. Yes. Thanks for joining us. And by the way, it's the holiday season.
Merry, Merry Christmas
Merry
to
Christmas.
you.
Yes.
Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
to
Christmas.
you.
Merry Christmas to you. Woo!
Thanks for following.
And if you haven't had enough of us yet, here's some bloopers.
Redo. Can't do it. Gotta go. Gotta go. Gotta go. Well, Frisco Clean cause. Shoot.
Okay, let's start that over.
I do not know
What
how
is
to pronounce
it?
Develers? There's
That's
no way.
My name.
This is him. This is him.
You all have to take good care of my name, okay? It's very important. You gotta say de villiers.
De
Villiers.
Villiers.
No, we got